gonna talk about what it's like to go mini viral when I advocate on the topic of FASD. So mini viral, what I've looked up, is what happens when you hit over, I think, 100,000 views on any given like TikTok or Instagram short. I don't know what it is on YouTube, but I haven't done that yet on YouTube. But yeah, it's exhilarating, but then it's also exhausting. I have gotten mini viral a couple of times on both my TikTok and my Instagram page. And I think it's happened on my TikTok page. I think I have like 4 or 5 videos that's hit like 3, usually 1 million, or I think my highest is 3 million views, which is very exciting. But what comes with having a lot of likes and views comes with a lot of exciting things, but it also comes with a lot of negative things. And people are not ready to hear about FASD, not even close. What tends to happen is 2 things. One of the comments that I get a lot is people call me a fearmonger. Yeah, that sucks. That really, really sucks. I get called a fearmonger if I bring up one of my videos goes viral when I say like, hey, don't drink alcohol while pregnant because it can do this, this, and this, and it can cause FASD. And then people in my comments will like come along and be like, well, I drank while pregnant and my child's fine. You're just a fearmonger. And I'm like, oh, great, thank you. One of my videos went viral on Instagram, which is great, exciting, yay. But one commenter who we're still having a back and forth with, which I should block them or delete them. But basically I have made a video. Actually, I'm going to show you the video here. Saw the video, cool. But this commenter said, well, what if they didn't drink while pregnant? And I'm like, if you didn't drink alcohol while pregnant, then that video wasn't for you. If you didn't think your birth parent drank alcohol while pregnant, that video wasn't for you. People get mad offended when I talk about FASD and say, hey, there are similar symptoms with other neurodivergent conditions. Have you thought about FASD instead of these conditions? Ooh, we don't like that. No one likes that. Or people in my comment section I get a lot when I have a lot of views / likes is people in the comments will be like, you have FASD. You look like you have FASD. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, I have FASD. Why do you think I'm talking about FASD? Like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna point out your facial features to hurt your feelings. And like, joke's on you. My facial features have already been identified for like 27 years, so you're 27 years too late, dude. And through these like negative comments, and it's not even negative, it's misinformation comments that then I have to make videos about to then debunk said misinformation. Some of the misinformation that I have to debunk is people being like, you have to be an alcoholic to cause FASD. No. We now know that low to moderate amounts of alcohol can cause FASD. Another one is, well, FASD has facial features, so you can tell someone has FASD. Yet again, wrong. Only 10% of people with FASD actually have the classic FASD facial features, which means 90% of people with FASD have no facial features. So no, you actually can't tell if someone has FASD. Another weird quote-unquote hate comment that I get, I don't even know if these are hate comments, just like stupid misinformation. It could be rage baiting too. People have told me that I'm supporting eugenics by stating that, hey, don't drink alcohol while pregnant because it can cause FASD. And then people in my comments will be like, actually, that's eugenics if you're trying to prevent a disability. And I'm like, oh my god, FASD does not follow the same rules as other disabilities. People also will come into my comments, and yet again, I'm sure this is rage bait, but hey, whatever. It gets me views and gets me likes and it gets me comments. People will say, actually, it's my body, my choice, so I can drink alcohol while pregnant. Yep. And I tend to say, like, hey, let's not use pro-choice language to justify drinking alcohol while pregnant. I'm pro-choice. But that term is not to be used to justify drinking alcohol while pregnant. One of the comments that I also get when I post a lot of videos stating sort of the statistics on how much the general population has FASD, like in Canada, 1 in 25 people have FASD. In the US, it's between 2% and 5%. We believe that 1 in 20 school-age children have FASD. 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 That's what I say. And then people in my comments will be like, actually, it's 1 in 1,000. And then I have to make a video stating, no. You read that information wrong on the CDC website. Yes, they do have a statistics that says 1 in 1,000, but do you know who that's for? Fetal alcohol syndrome, which is one type of 5 types of FASD. I talk about FASD, as in the whole of FASD, which includes fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and all the 5 types of FASD. 1 in 20 school-age children in the US have some form of FASD. Another weird comment that I get, and I can't tell if people are being like snobby about this or they just generally want to know, but one of the comments I get is, how do you diagnose someone with FASD? And I always find this comment kind of confusing, because if we can diagnose other people with other developmental disabilities, then you would think that same process is around the same as other disabilities. So if you follow a specific diagnostic criteria of said developmental disability, you look at medical history, you look at family history, you might do medical scans and blood tests and all that. I mean, it's not going through a FASD diagnosis is not some like totally different thing than other developmental disabilities. Although, unfortunately, what makes it hard to get a diagnosis of FASD compared to other developmental disabilities is there's not as many clinics, there's not as many doctors who are trained on FASD, there's not as many resources, so it's a lot harder to get a diagnosis of FASD. I find that a lot of people are very go on the offense when we talk about FASD. People get very bothered about the fact that I'm talking about FASD. People don't want FASD to be, oh, that's another one. People don't think FASD is part of the neurodivergent spectrum. FASD tends to bring out like the worst in people when we have FASD discussion. The ableism, the lateral ableism, the misinformation, all the things that I have to combat when I talk about FASD online. And it can be exhausting to be one of the only ones that talks about FASD in online spaces, because there's not a lot of videos on FASD. So people can't be like, oh, there's like 20 people saying the same thing about FASD. They must be correct if 20 people agree on the same statement. But with me, it's like, oh, there's one person talking about FASD. There's only one person talking about FASD. Where are all the other people talking about this? I don't see them, so we can't believe this one person. Which I totally get. I totally understand that if one person is talking about one thing, then there might be questions, and if there's not many people talking about one subject, then you might question that one person. So it comes all on my shoulders to be trying to combat all of this misinformation, and then also not have friends or anyone to back up my statements. But then it's also frustrating on one hand to see other neurodivergent disabilities be talked online, and then I see misinformation on their end. Yet it's 20 videos of people saying the same exact thing, and I'm sitting there like, but that doesn't make sense. Why are you 20 people saying the wrong thing? Like, one of the things that I can't stand is people saying to me, or I see videos of people like, oh, if you have this, if you do this said sensory thing, then you have autism. And then I'm sitting here like, I do that sensory thing not because I'm autistic, but because I have FASD. Because FASD can overlap with so many other neurodivergent conditions. And then when I bring it up in my video, it's like, hey, people with FASD can stim, people with FASD can have sensory issues and social skill issues, and we can have echolalia, and we can have stimming, and we can have auditory processing, and we can struggle with eye contact, and we can struggle with all these things. And then people are like, oh no, it can't be you, it has to be us. And I'm like, well, why can't it be both? But I'm not gonna quit. I very much enjoy talking about FASD. I really enjoy making videos on FASD. I very much like to break the misinformation on my page, and I like to talk about the misinformation, and I like to bring forward actual medical science facts to people who may not understand FASD, but it's exhausting and it can be tiring and it can be very frustrating. I encourage more people to talk about FASD, but be warned that this is very, very hard, and because it's not talked about a lot, we tend to get hit with a lot of more of the internalized ableism, and just downright mean ass comments. I'm sorry if this was more of a rant, but I really wanted to talk about what it's like to talk about FASD, and what it's like to be in like the online space of the neurodivergent community, and how sometimes people aren't necessarily ready for FASD to be talked about. So if you want to make FASD content, please do, but also please have a support network with you outside of the filming and the online space, because it can be rough out here and it can be very hard on your mental health and all that comes with trying to advocate online. And it's okay to take breaks. You know, it's okay to take breaks. You don't have to post every single day. Yes, it is recommended to post every single day and on multiple platforms every single day. But if you're just starting out, post one video like every 2 days, if that's how you feel that you have to do it. I post every day on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, and I post long form content once a week, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. This will be out Sunday. But yeah, I just wanted to put out sort of conversation on it's not always glamorous to talk about these type of topics, and how people can react very negatively to said conversation. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not. I love it. It's fun. I enjoy it, and I love you guys, and I love the support, and I love the likes, and I like the comments, and I love when people subscribe. So on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!